and welcome to the Rest is Football question and answer episode with Micah Richards, Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker. Thank you once again for sending in your questions. Mostly, well, it sounds a stupid thing to say, mostly about football, but I'm talking about the start of the season, as you'd expect. So let's kick straight on. Now, we're recording this on Tuesday morning after Leeds, and congratulations to them to get their first 3 points of the season. They beat Everton by 1-0. Go on, Micah.
Marching on together.
Perfectly timed. And I got a question from Chris, and I think you'll know what it is. What did you guys make of the Tarkowski handball last night? Now, I think Alan wants to rant.
I just think, I thought Tarkowski was really articulate after the game in what he said.
What did he say, Al?
He actually said, if that ball is struck and I don't move and it hits me on the arm, as it did do, and I didn't move, it's not going to be given a penalty because my arm is in a natural position and I can't do anything about it. But he said, because I leaned and I leant because it's taken a deflection, he said, since when has there been a law in the game that you can't lean towards the ball? So the ball hits him in exactly the same position, but he's leaning. And he said, since when has leaning been a punishable offence?
I suppose playing devil's advocate here, because I agree it was very, very harsh. But if you are leaning towards the ball, the first thing that goes is your arm.
But then it's but he's still in a natural position. It's still down by his side.
I disagree with you.
It's still down by his side and it's taking the deflection. I just think the handball law is an absolute shit show. It's a shambles.
That is definitely true.
It is. They have tried so many things that have just not worked. And how many times are we seeing it? The handball law, to me, just needs to be really simple. Is it deliberate handball or not? What's wrong with that?
That's exactly how it used to be. And you'll still have arguments, and that may have been given under those circumstances, probably not. And it allows the referee to use, and even the VAR, to use a degree of common sense where, because they've tied themselves up in knots, like you say, if you read the handball law, which we've read many, many times because there have been so many incidents over the last few, there are so many nuances and drafts, and they're trying to take into account every possible permutation situation of a handball and the unnatural position, the natural position, the hand up
proximity.
In the it's like proximity, and instead of just going, well, does he mean it? Has he done it to get an advantage?
Can you imagine a referee going into a game with all that crap in his head? Proximity.
I feel for the referees with this. I don't blame them under these circumstances. I don't blame VAR. I blame the lawmakers, who we know now are referees, and IFAB. So it's just got a bit silly.
Micah?
It needs simplifying.
Nonsense. I agree with everything that you've said, Alan. I listened to the interview after the game with Tarkowski too. It's not a penalty. If you give a penalty for that, you're giving penalties every single week. It's as simple as that. When you've been in that position and you lean into it, of course. So if the ball's coming to you and say it's going there and he leans and it comes off his chest, that's what he has to do. His arm is in a natural position.
He's actually tried to get it behind his back.
Exactly. I don't understand. And I agree with you guys. It's really difficult for the referees. And the referee took, I say, a fraction longer than normal because he was thinking about it. I don't know if the crowd had something to do with it, but he's in a difficult position. So I don't blame the referee. But that cannot be a handball.
Do you think if he hadn't have given it, they'd have turned it over?
No, not a chance. Not a chance. It's one of those.
Well, there is a chance.
Honestly, it's 50-50, isn't it? But I just think that can't be a handball.
The handball, we've said it. It really is pathetic. It's so many different moving. It's like.
But you know what? We watched Monday Night Football yesterday, and Gary and Jamie thought it was a handball. So we look at the game as ex-professionals and we're still disagreeing, which tells us there's something wrong with the law. It should be clear.
I can understand why they thought it might be, because the fact he leans towards, and if you lean towards, your arm naturally goes closer to it. But I do think he was genuinely, because of the deflection and also the fact that he was desperately trying to get the arm behind his back. But as you say, there's no common sense in allowed in refereeing anymore. And but anyway, let's move on. JKD. We Liverpool Football Club fans understand players trying to force a move, e.g. Coutinho, Sterling, Suarez. Can we hear Alan's views on Wissa currently and Gordon previously refusing to play, trying to force a move to Newcastle? Also, does he think Newcastle's offer of 25 million for Wissa is belittling? Cheers. I think this is obviously because of your reaction to all the Isak stuff, which I think
fine.
you've been pretty fair about.
I don't think it's. I don't like players that have got a contract not train or refusing to train or refusing to play. You have a contract behind you. Now, I always said there's. I understand there's two sides to every story. Isak might have a story which he hasn't spoken about yet. Wissa might have a story which he hasn't spoken about yet. I think I read this morning he's deleted all his photographs of being in a Brentford shirt or anything to do with Brentford. Deleted his profile from Brentford. I don't know his side of the story, but I'm exactly the same as the Isak situation. It is not right. If you've got Isak's got 3 years left. You can't not train or play. You're being paid by the football club. And whatever reason or whatever hump you've got or gripe you've got with whoever, chairman, owners, manager, whatever it may be, you still have a duty to the other players because of that contract and to the football club to go and train and go and play. There's a way of getting out of a football club, and refusing to train and play is not the right way.
I think what you said was fair, Al, just now on a match today. Two things I want to pick up. I mean, you said 30 quid for train fares. Have you been on a train recently? It's about 200 quid for train.
Yeah, it's for you when you sit in fucking first class. Not for us normal guys who just go in with the normal punters.
Oh yeah, and hide from the Sunderland fans in the corner.
Okay, yeah, I get that point, Micah. Yeah,
and secondly, what about how the players are treated when they're not wanted?
I get that as well.
We've made that point.
That's why I said there is no loyalty in... Don't talk to me about loyalty in football with either football clubs or football players. We use Donnarumma as the example. And we can use the Man United players who are now being forced to train with the reserves or train away from the first team squad, because Man United all of a sudden want to get rid of them. So I totally get that and understand that loyalty with football clubs and football players, no chance.
Yeah. And I think this is probably where it's difficult for fans, especially, isn't it? Because obviously their allegiances to the club, their loyalties to the club, they're very tribal, and it's very hard for them to imagine why a player would want to leave their particular football club. So they'll even side perhaps with a club in circumstances when the club's not being fair to footballers, which happens regularly.
When I was at Aston Villa, I know I talk about partying and lifestyle and all that sort of stuff, and sometimes I take that too far. But when I'm talking, I try to be as honest as possible, give people insight. But when it came to me training Aston Villa, I always give 100%. No managers come out and said anything bad about me. But in the media, I was made out to be some sort of monster. And the club didn't back me at that point. But no manager said, if someone says you're not good enough, you can take it. I had injuries and all that sort of thing. But I was always professional. But sometimes would tell me, don't come in to train, go train with the 23s, or do all these things. And I could have said, Aston Villa are treating me this way or that way. And I just think with the situation with Wissa and Isak, we just need to be careful that we're getting fed the true story. So Alan's completely right. You should never, ever, and I didn't want to give the satisfaction to people at the club to say Micah's got a bad attitude or Micah's not working hard. But there's something untoward going on here where Isak's refusing to come in and train. I would just love to hear the full story, you know?
His side of the story as well. I'm sure he will at some point. It leads me on to a question, actually, which I was waiting to come. I thought it would. Mithrandir or Mithrandir. Apologies if I said it the wrong way. Why has Alan's stance on Isak's transfer saga different from when Trent Alexander-Arnold decided to leave Liverpool to join Real Madrid? Especially since he isn't a Geordie, Newcastle will get in excess of 100 million for him. I think there's an obvious answer to this one.
What a stupid question that is. You can't compare them at all. Trent was a kid who was brought up at Liverpool. He came to the end of his contract. He didn't refuse to play. He didn't refuse to train, and then was well within his rights to leave. And now Isak's got 3 years left on his contract. It doesn't take a genius to work that out, does it? Come on.
I think Liverpool's fans' problem is that he's a Liverpool lad and they feel like they didn't get a monster transfer fee for him. Obviously, they did get something in the end, 8-10 million quid, whatever it was, from Real Madrid because they wanted him to play in the Club World Cup. But it reminds me of the circumstances when I left Leicester. Now, it's slightly different because you leave Leicester, a club like Leicester. I'm a Leicester fan, so I know it inside out. It's not a monster club, whereas Liverpool is. But if you've got an ambition of playing abroad, playing for one of the giants in world football, to educate yourself in another country, to learn different styles of football, different ways of life, then that ambition is perfectly acceptable. And I made a conscious decision under different circumstances when I left Leicester. I wanted to go to a club that I thought I had a chance of winning trophies to. So when I left Leicester, I said to myself, I am not going to leave Leicester mid-contract, because I don't think that's the right thing to do because I cared so much about the club. And I suspect Trent has thought the same. He's thought, well, I'm not walking out on a contract. I'm not downing tools. I'm seeing out my contract to the end of the season. I'm not going to feign injury or anything like that. He's done all the right things. And it's just a decision he's made for his career and his life. And I think that's vastly different to a player that's got 3 years left on his contract at a football club and just downs tools.
Totally different circumstances.
Just a quick one on Isak. It's different circumstances. All the reports from Isak was he's a very good lad. Alan, you've always talked really well about him. So someone just doesn't come in and not train. So in terms of the question, it's two different things. I agree with
totally different
Alan.
Things.
They're totally different things.
I mean, I sat down with him, 5-6 months ago, Alex, and I didn't see this in him, to be honest. I thought he was a manager's dream, to be honest, the way he spoke and the way he sort of was talking about himself and the club and his life and everything else. So obviously something has massively upset him, and we don't know that. But those two circumstances, Trent and Alex and Isak, are totally different.
These things are always behind closed doors. So there could have been a point maybe a year ago where they've said, if you have a great season, we'll give you another big bonus or redo your contract, and then it didn't transpire. You don't know. I don't know either, but I suppose we'll find out at some point. Let's take a break then. We'll take some more of your questions when we come back. This episode of The Rest is Football is powered by NordVPN. Now, you might be off on holiday during the summer, but football, well, never really stops, does it? Lads, how have you been keeping up with football and everything else over the summer?
Actually, I was in Dubai, and not only could I not get my messages, I couldn't get my football update, so I turned my VPN on.
Hey.
And,
Nord.
my NordVPN.
Let's get it right, Alan.
And then bingo, it was perfect.
Yeah, films and series, that sort of thing. Turned on the VPN. Nord, of course. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
NordVPN protects my privacy and sensitive data when I'm online. It hides my IP, leaving no digital footprint. So it's like
surfing the web with an invisibility cloak, avoiding the prying eyes of hackers, trackers, and bad actors. To get the best discount for your NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/restisfootball. Our link will also give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. There's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the podcast episode description box.
Welcome back to The Rest is Football with Micah Richards, Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker. It's the question answer episode, and here's one. It's quite an early to go down this route, but I can widen it up really. Jason S. Who is going to challenge Haaland for the Golden Boot? Now, obviously, Mo Salah won the Golden Boot last year, so we could say, who is going to challenge Mo Salah for the Golden Boot? But let's turn it into who's going to win the Golden Boot this season. I mean, early predictions. We didn't do that in our predictions episode of the clubs, but I suspect it might be one or t'other. Although someone like Ekitike, maybe.
Chris Wood, maybe.
Chris Wood. I mean, he got about 20 last season, didn't he?
Off to a flyer as well again, 2 goals.
Off to a flyer. He's his captain, Micah. He's so happy.
I think it'll be. It's between those
if
two
Haaland
again. Salah
stays
and
fit,
Haaland,
I think if Haaland stays fit, he's probably favourite. He did get injured, obviously, for a bit last season. Mo will be up there without a shadow of a doubt, I think.
Yeah, I agree with them. You know, Ekitike, though, gets in good positions, for the crosses as well. He had a few headers the other night. I thought, ooh. Because when you're watching all these clips and everything, and you look about him running in behind, try to link and all that sort of stuff. And even though he's really tall, you don't think he's amazing in the air, but with the delivery he's getting from the wide areas, Salah, Ekitike, and Haaland for me.
Takes me straight on to a question from Gills. Ekitike, Sesko, Gyökeres, and he's thrown in Isak. Who finishes top goal scorer amongst those? We'll take Isak out of this question because we don't know where he's going to end up, although I suspect he might well end up at Liverpool. We shall see. It's so early to say, isn't it? Sesko got, 20 minutes? Gyökeres got an hour. Neither of them really showed much because their teams weren't particularly dominant. I would, at the minute, you'd have to go Ekitike because Liverpool were playing so well.
Yeah, you've seen him, and I agree with that. And it's
but in 2 weeks' time, he might be out the side if Isak comes in. I wonder also the fact that Ekitike started so well, whether Liverpool go, do we really want to spend 150 million on a striker when we look like we've unearthed a bit of a diamond here?
I would still spend it if I was them. If you got Isak and Ekitike, that is ridiculous. Kiesa's come back into the fold with Gakpo on the left-hand side, and Salah and Harvey Elliott, who could play on that right-hand side. It is formidable. I'd still be going for Isak because it's guaranteed Ekitike might just be having a good spell right now, whereas Isak, I'd still go for Isak for sure.
I think Gyökeres will score goals in that Arsenal team. He has to, doesn't he? I didn't know he didn't have the best of games at the weekend, but I would, looking at him and his style and all of those things, I would think he will get more goals.
Jay Palmer. Any relation to Cole? I don't know. What does a fourth official actually do? Like when a player goes off and has a head injury, why can't they be the one to let them back on after 30 seconds rather than wait for the ref? Or be the one to write the players' names down when receiving a booking or a sending off? Well, they hold up the numbers board for the substitutes.
They help create arguments.
How many minutes you're going to, injury time you're going to play. Basically, it seems to me what they are is they're just an ear to listen to the managers having their rants about every single decision. And they all do it, don't they? Yeah. The coaches, they go straight up to the fourth official whenever they're not having it, and they give them loads in their ear. And I'm thinking to myself, it's not him who's made that decision, and he can't turn it round.
Agreed, yeah.
So, yeah, I suppose they're also there as we've seen it occasionally when a ref or a a linesman, or not linesman as we call it now, the referee's
Assistant.
friend, his mate, assistant. He's on the touchline, or to replace them if there's an injury. But
it's not really fair, though. They're getting too much abuse, fourth officials.
They do, don't they?
Every single week. And if you look at their faces, they're just like, what am I doing here? They're getting it off.
What am I listening to this blood?
They're turning
chewing my ear
to the
off.
other side, they're getting off that end. And what can you do? Because you can't argue with them. All they're doing is almost like a minder just to make sure the managers are all right. I feel so sorry for them.
Yeah. Question from Mr. Molden. Mr. Very formal. Will Potter last the season at West Ham? I presume this is a West Ham fan. It's a bit hard to go. It's one game in, but it was a really poor and worrying start for them. But we know what it's like. If a manager's not winning games, they'll be under pressure. So it's tough to answer.
I think because of the even we said before the game that they're one of the teams that could be in and around there, which tells you what the West Ham fans must be feeling as well. And they've not seen a lot of activity in terms of incoming. So they were really poor in the second half at Sunderland, and they can't afford too many of those performances.
Well, I think Potter's been in charge for 20 games and he's got a 25% win rate. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
If it carries on like that, I don't think he'll be there by the end of the season. I was listening to an interview with Karen Brady the weekend. It was really insightful, actually. And she used the words, I hope, rather than he will. And I just thought, when I was thinking, obviously we can all hope things work out. You know, we hope this podcast...
it's horrible talking about someone's possibly losing a job, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. But I mean, end of the day, the Premier League, biggest league in the world, you've got to win games. It's as simple as that. And if he stays at that record, even though I rate him as a manager, he won't be there by the end of the season. It's as simple as that.
Okay, it's a really important question from Robbie Skinner. Now that you're all playing Fantasy Premier League, what would each of your prices be this season if you were all in your prime?
Easy. 6 million.
Everyone would be getting Micah in their team for 4 million because he'd be a bargain.
Hey, do some research, actually. See what my highest price was on fantasy football.
God, he's on it.
And can we also just have a little recap as to how many points we all got at the weekend, just to see who's leading? I don't know what points we got.
Well, we've got the rest
Alan's
is football one, haven't we? We've got the rest, and then you've got the individual ones.
Let's go through the rest is football one and the individual ones.
The rest is football one first was 63 points. My individual one I know was 65. Micah, your individual one?
61.
61. They're all pretty much similar. Go on. I know you've got it bigger because you would never have brought this up otherwise. Go on.
70, lads. 70 points.
70.
Yeah.
God,
70
dear, just shows you that it's all luck.
Better make the most of it while I can, lads.
On Monday's episode, I told you about Ronan and he had this extraordinary score. Well, there are now 2 players in our league that have gone above that. One is Mwarani Army. His actual name is Ben Brown. Would have been a lot easier, Ben, just to have said that. 117 points. And Milvain FC, which is Kane Ori's team, or Ori, he's got 111. Huge amount of points. I don't know whether they played their bench presses. They both did. So,
press.
It's worked for them.
Bench boost.
Bench
Sorry,
boost.
bench boost. Did I say bench
Thinking
press?
of Micah and his guns on you.
Do you know what? That's because I'm going in the gym after we recorded this episode to do some bench press.
You silly old fucker. Bench press.
Silly old. Oh dear. Anyway, we've not answered the question yet. What would our prices be this season?
Well, I'm still waiting for Harry to find out what my score was.
Micah's most expensive price. He can't find it. It's in the archives.
Give me till the weekend's episode.
We'll have it for you by the weekend's episode. Right, what would our prices actually be now, though, Mike? You'd be a good.
I think playing for Man City, as a defender, I think 7 or 8 assists was my highest in the Premier League. So I'd be between 5 and 5.5 million.
Yeah.
Not
You're
quite.
the expert. You should tell us what
bargain.
we'll be worth as well, Micah.
So Haaland is 14 million quid.
So 16 or 17 for me.
I knew he was going to have some you couldn't get a bet on there, could you?
No, but Haaland's got a point. For the leading Premier League goal scorer, he would be the most expensive on the game.
You'd be the same as Salah, 14.5 million.
Probably 40. Yeah, Salah's the most expensive.
And I'd be the same, Al. I'd be the same.
Of course you would, yeah. Goal
14
scorers.
and a half, I'd say,
Yeah. You know, you bang it. If you top scorer and win the Golden Boot every season, like we did, pretty much, then well, it's true. How many did you won? You won 3.
Yeah.
I won 3.
Yeah.
I mean, you played way more seasons in English football than I did. I only played 6 or I think in the top flight. I think maybe we break records and go to 15 million each. And not. All right, one more question, I think. One more question. Here's one then. Laura Woodward. If the bottom 3 aren't the newly promoted clubs, who goes down in their place? That's a jolly place to finish. I would go at the moment Brentford, Wolves, West Ham.
Ooh, agreed.
That's
the 3 I would go.
I don't think that will be the case because I think obviously some of the at least one of the promoted clubs I suspect will go down.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that. I wouldn't. Yeah, go with that.
Yeah, sorry fans of those particular clubs, but not much has happened for you over the summer. And you've not had great starts. And we can't even finish on that one either. I've got to find some. Is there any? Come on, guys. Is there any questions here that are positive? All right. Let's go with one from obviously a Manchester United fan, Scott Parkey. Who should Man United go for the CDM role? Recruit or trust Ugarte, Casemiro, etc.?
Well, there's rumours of Belieber, isn't there?
Yeah, he's been
whether Brighton would let him go, I suspect not, or whether they could agree a fee with him, I suspect not. I don't know, but he's been one. I
Brighton
guess
have said he's not for sale.
Right, it's not.
We've
surprising.
heard those things before, but
yeah,
I think they should recruit. What I saw at the weekend was very positive in terms of the way they wanted to set up. But I still think over the course of the season, they're going to need a little more legs in the centre of the park. So go find someone as soon as possible.
I might prioritise a goalkeeper before central midfielder, by the way.
Bayern is not as bad as people have been making out over the weekend. I agree with you, Al. A strong number 1 would help them, especially if you've got a top goalkeeper. But I just think that was a bad decision. I don't think he's that bad of a goalkeeper. I actually think he's quite good, to be honest.
well, we'll see. As the season goes on, we'll make, I suppose, more of these decisions. What is there? A couple of weeks left on the transfer window now for clubs to make a move, and then you get a bit more of an idea, don't you, as we go into September. Okay, let's call it a day there. Thank you once again for sending in your questions. Always appreciated. But that's it for this episode. So goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.